If you're anything like me, your schedule's about to get very busy, which means you need to create your content in advance so that you don't have to worry about it while you're doing whatever it is in your life that you need to be taken care of. I'm about to do some major traveling for speaking gigs and life events, which means I needed daily content for my YouTube channel and my other social platforms. So here's some things that I did to make sure that I had daily videos for my YouTube channel and the other social platforms without a ton of extra work and effort. Now, the first involved me live streaming. I did TikTok and Instagram live streams, and while I was on air, I answered real-time questions. These are things my audience wants to know right now in the moment. So while I was on air, I answered them in a real-time capacity for those people, but then I took the footage from those live streams and I was able to crop them up into different sections so that I had clips to use on my YouTube channel or wherever else I might want them. With that in mind, I can then knock out 5, 10 or more questions in a single 1-hour live stream, depending on how much effort I put into answering each individualized question or how much it requires of an answer. Anything that's going to be valuable to my audience, I can then clip out and use on my YouTube channel later on. Now, the nice thing is this is evergreen content. So as I'm creating most of this stuff, I'm then able to put it on my YouTube channel or prepare it for other platforms and put it out whenever. If it's not time sensitive, it doesn't have to go out that moment. So anything that's going to be time sensitive, I'll go ahead and drop on my YouTube channel in the moment. But anything other than that, I can save and use when I need it. So that means as I'm creating content, I can put it out while I'm traveling and while I'm doing other things. Or if I have breaking news that I'm going to be creating content for and putting it out, I can then bump that to a later date without affecting what I'm doing inside of my YouTube platform. So live streaming and then taking clips is an incredibly easy way to get content for the future. Another incredibly easy way that I created content was by actually filming through my live streaming platform on an off-air capacity. So I would jump on as if I were doing a live stream and I would use graphics on my screen to guide the conversation. Now, as I create content for my YouTube channel, I usually film in sections, I'll move around on screen, I'll change things so it looks like I have intentional cuts inside of my content while I'm able to then focus on one section and then stop and then do another section to make sure that I don't have to memorize the entire conversation all at once. With this in mind, I can then put graphics with words on my screen to prompt what is coming next. Now, I could use overlays where it just floats on my screen, or I could create pretty graphics that make it look a little bit higher end, but either way, it's guiding my conversation so that I don't have to stop in between and figure out what section is coming next or what point I'm going to be discussing next in my content. This way, I can easily create a flow for the conversation, and then I can just film it off air and use it as a video later on. And the best part is this works with my content because I'm already doing live streams on the platform. So it looks like it is a normal live stream capacity that I do inside of my YouTube channel. And this can also go for any masterclasses I'm teaching, webinars, or mini summits that I am putting out on social media. So this films exactly like the rest of my content, and then I'm able to use that when and where I need it on my YouTube channel. Another thing I love to do to save myself time and effort while creating highly valuable content and reaching new audiences is to bring on other experts in the industry. So I'm looking for other influential people to bring on and interview. This is really nice because they do the heavy lifting in the conversation. They're the ones who are bringing the content to teach my audience, and I'm just facilitating that conversation. I'm guiding the dialogue as we're talking, and I am active and present and interacting with what's going on the screen, but they're the ones bringing the wealth of information and knowledge. So I find people who are adjacent to what I teach and adjacent to what I put out who are not doing the exact same things, and I allow them to bring their expertise, which then allows them access to my audience. Their audience will come over to watch them and see my platform, and I get really great educational content for my platform without me having to spend a ton of time and effort coming up with new topics or learning new things to educate on or educating in new ways. So this is a great way to form those collaborations, take a lot of the work off my plate, while also giving my audience something really cool that I potentially could not teach them on my own because I'm not an expert in that area. One thing that I've been doing recently is filming any meetings, conferences, coaching sessions, consultations, or live streams that I've been doing. Now, this is really cool because I do it a little bit differently than talking direct to camera. So if I'm having a conversation on Clubhouse, or if I'm doing a consultation with a client, or if I'm in a coaching session, or even if I'm filming for someone else's show and and we have conversations that are not meant for their podcast, but just us chatting behind the scenes, I set up my phone next to my computer so that it shows my profile, or at least part of my profile, and is not me directly speaking to camera. I am then filming myself as I am speaking. And again, anytime I'm doing something that's for someone else's show, that's their content for their show. I am not taking that and putting it on my platform. But if we're just chatting behind the scenes and I'm giving them a great piece of advice or a mini coaching session, I have the ability to then use that content to put on my channel. It's sitting by my computer, so it'll get my keyboard, but it won't show anybody on the screen. It's showing me partly from the side, and then I can use those conversations on my YouTube channel in the future. This is a really cool idea I got while I was doing an interview with Allison Lex, and she was chatting with me behind the scenes, and she asked me some really great questions and said, you can use this on your channel as a mini coaching session, because we were talking about how I can do this one thing inside of my business. And that gave me the idea of filming all of these other things to make sure that as I'm having great conversations with people, I'm now allowing my audience as a whole into those conversations as well. So I always recommend, if you're having conversations with anybody or doing live streams or live events, filming yourself from the side may result in cool B-roll footage that you can use later on, but it very well might lead you to very good, strong content that you can then put out on your social platforms and make sure that you're saving time and effort, and you don't have to repeat yourself later. If you made a good point, you will not have to reiterate that later for a video. I recently had a really cool opportunity to be recorded for a radio show, and as part of that interview, the person who was interviewing me filmed the video to then use for marketing purposes. But she was kind enough to give me the entirety of the footage because there were some questions with unaired answers on that show. She gave me full reign to use this on my YouTube channel. So now I have the ability to use the full interview and clips from the interview to answer specific questions. I was then able to clip these up and use these as content on my YouTube channel. So you may not always have access to footage from interviews that you do, but if they do give you the opportunity to and you have permission, you're then able to use that content on your platforms as well to save you time and effort as you're creating your content. Now, as you are moving forward with this, I want you to be thinking of ways that you can create content that's easy for you to create in the moment by doubling up by doing your live streams, doubling up by recording things that you're doing already, like those interviews or consultations or coaching sessions, by making sure that you are using any content offered to you from other opportunities that you had the chance to participate in, and by using what you've got to create easier content like your live streaming platform in order to facilitate that conversation quicker and have it done in a very easy way, and by getting guests on your show to do some of the heavy lifting for you. If you have ideas on how you can save time and effort creating your content for when you have to create a lot of content so that you can go do other things in your life that are coming up, drop those down below and stay tuned, because I actually have some really cool videos on how you can save more time and effort creating your content for social media, not just for while you're traveling or doing life things, but in general as well. Drop your questions down below, hit the subscribe and notification bell, because we drop daily videos to help you level up on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, live streaming, and the tools and resources you need to save your time and effort creating your content so you can get back to what you love doing, running your business and living your best life. I'll see you in the next episode.